All right, everybody, how you doing? You know who I am. You know why I'm here. But this is actually a little different from what I said in my last video. I am at, I believe, St. Paul Cemetery here in Weirton, West Virginia, where I'm working at currently. And I figured I would show a couple of grave sites of famous people that is famous by the city standards, you know, not famous by Hollywood or sports athletes standards. I just figured I'd drive around the cemetery for a little bit and show you a little bit of what's, you know, different, and show you a couple of things that I think is pretty nice, pretty neat. Like up there we have a couple of angels sitting on top of gravestones, which I think are really nice. And as I said, I had a couple of people who are famous by Weirton standards, but probably not famous by Hollywood or sports athlete standards. The first one I already showed you, and I'm going to give a little background on it since I didn't get any background in the first video. In 1951, there was a very famous bus accident right by the bus garage where I work at. And the bus accident claimed the lives of 11 people, and one of those 11 people was the bus driver. And the bus driver literally lived 500 feet from where the bus accident occurred at the bus garage. So he literally lived basically within stepping distance of where his work was. And he drove bus for a living for, it's now known as Weirton Transit. But back then it was known as Weir Penn, and it was also known as W&P, which stands for Weirton and Pittsburgh. But, and I've said in numerous videos, I've said in my Facebook posts, that I believe the bus garage where I used to work at is actually haunted, not by malevolent spirits, but actually by friendly spirits, kind of like Casper the Friendly Ghost style. And one of those ghosts that's there is spirits, I should say, not ghosts, but spirits, is actually the bus driver, and I have seen him. I actually have a photo on my Facebook homepage that shows the picture that I took of the actual thing, of the actual spirit. And you can look that up on my Facebook page if you want. There's thousands of comments on it. Of course, you're going to get those people who will deny it, or people who are non-believers, and then you got some people who may, you know, look at it and say, well, you know what, it could be real. You know, it's a good photo. It's something that's worth looking into. So, but I showed the first grave, which was the bus driver. And it's actually down there about maybe 2-3 rows. It's on the next street over there. And I also showed you his mother, his father, and what I believe is his son. I could be wrong on that. It could be like a nephew or a niece or cousin or something like that. But anyways, on to the next one. And I'll get out of the 2014 Jetta. And the bus garage where I used to work at is actually owned by Donald Donnell. And this is the entire plot for all of the Donnell family. This is Don Donnell, and this is also one of their children's sites. And once again, I'm not going to walk on their graves for respect. He is the owner of the company that I actually work for. He was the president, CEO, and founder of the company. And of course, you can see him here. I don't want to talk very loud because I don't want to disturb anybody, because there are other people here. And this is another Donnell family plot. And over there, I'll walk down here by these headstones. Once again, not showing any disrespect. This is another Donnell. And the guy that actually hired me on, he is related to these people. There's another Donnell. And there's another Donnell family plot. And I believe that's all of the family plots. But a little history about this place. He started, as you can see it, and there's another Donnell. It's one of the family members. Matter of fact, they just recently passed away back in 2017. So I'll go back down to the Jetta, get in it, and I will give you the backstory on it. Now, the story is, and Don Donnell's grandson, Dave Donnell, is the one who hired me. And then right after he hired me, he resigned. So I basically got on the bus garage, the Weirton, Weirton Construction is what it's known now as. And when he first started, it was an ice company. Then they switched to ice and coal. And then they switched to construction. So throughout the entire years of that place being operational, it was under different things. So at first, it was a ice company, and he would literally go door to door with a cart of ice and selling ice, probably by the ounce, probably by the pound, whatever he had available. He would sell them in blocks. He would sell them in cubes, all that good stuff. And then he shifted his focus to coal, but he did keep the ice. But he shifted his focus to selling coal. And then he, when ships and barges started getting real big, he ended up opening a business down on the river where I work at. And he started bringing in coal. He started bringing in construction equipment. He started bringing in cement, limestones. And now we're doing limestones, sand, coil barges, all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it's all kinds of stuff. So basically, he made a multi-million-dollar corporation basically on the street, starting out on the street. And I am, as most of you may know, I am a security guard for the corporation that he founded, and I was hired on by his grandson. And right after his grandson hired me on, he trained me in everything, to do what I'm doing. And then after he trained me, he resigned. So the Donnell name is still synonymous with the company. And the company that I work for is Starvaji Industries. And if you Google Starvaji Industries, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff about the company and the corporation. It's a very big company and a very big corporation. He founded the Starvaji pool for the kids. So it was never about himself. It was always about, helping out the others while he was doing his business. And way over there is the mausoleum. I don't think any Donnells are down there. I think all the family plot is right here where I'm at. But off camera, I'm going to go down there and check out all those places and see if I can't find any Donnells. And if it is, I'm going to make a brief video. If there is, I'm going to make a brief video about both of those mausoleums. And I'll probably release that another day. But so yeah, there's just a little insight about the company that I work for and the people who I work through. Obviously, none of the Donnells are there anymore, but I do believe some of their relatives still work for the company. So Dave Donnell is the guy who hired me. Don Donnell Jr. Still has a stake in the company, but I don't think he's with the company anymore. But he still has a stake with the company. And instead of naming it Donnell Industries or Donnell Corporation, they named it Starvaji. This cemetery, I believe, was founded, I could be wrong on that. I know it's a Weirton-controlled cemetery, where I live at in Weirton, West Virginia. But I believe they had a stake in making the cemetery, founding the cemetery or paying for it or something. Not fully owning it, but I believe they had a stake in helping getting this place founded and started up. Starvaji Pool, it was founded by the company. There's a street named Starvaji in their honor. And then way up that way on Pennsylvania Avenue, way up that way is AutoZone. And across from AutoZone is a side street. And one of those side streets is named Donnell Avenue. So he actually has a street named in his honor, a street named in his honor, another street named after the company, a pool named by the company, and then they helped found this cemetery while they was doing their business. So he's pretty big deal down, here in West Virginia where I work at. So figured I'd drop that real quick, and I know it's going on 10 minutes. But I figured I'd give you a couple of grave sites that are famous by, Weirton, West Virginia standards, So If I happen to come across any more famous graves, I'll probably make another video and show it again. But, you know, it's just a little something different outside of work that I'd show you. So that's it for now. Take care of yourself. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Wear your face mask where it's required. And please, love each other. I'll talk to y'all another time. And shout out to all my family and friends. How you doing? Love you guys. I'll talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.